am. Welcome to Monday Morning Magic. Let me do my intro and then we'll get started.
Hi, my name is Coach B, the CEO, co creator of Extraordinary Outcomes. I'm an ordinary person with extraordinary aspirations who believes in living life fully alive. Welcome to the Hope Channel for your Monday Morning Magic, where inspiration plus information equals transformation.
Hey, good morning again. Good morning. So, I am in the process of using StreamYard, going live on YouTube, and simultaneously going live on Facebook. For those of you who may in the future want to join the conversation, there is a StreamYard address to join on Facebook. In a couple of weeks, we'll be able to bring people up on StreamYard if you want to be a part of the conversation. Again, my name is Coach B. I am the CEO, the co creator of Extraordinary Outcomes, and welcome to Monday Morning Magic. Today's topic is a growth mindset. I want to reflect a little bit on my past, and I want to say, as a child, I always had a fascination and an interest in how people tick, how people think, why do they think the way that they think, and how do they move in the world. And when I say I had this fascination about how people tick, I really wanted to know why some people's lives were better than others. Why did some people get upset about certain things and others didn't? And I had this interest ever since I was about 4 or 5 years old. I was learning a lot about the world at such a young age, like most of us do in our formative years. We're sucking in all the information. Our mind is like a sponge, and we're soaking in all of this information, and we're beginning at a very young age to start to put concepts together about ourselves, about the world, who we are, and as we grow older, our schematic might change based on more information. The more information we get, the more we analyze our situations. Now, here's a funny thing about a mindset, though. Our particular or personal mindset is based in a belief system that's also based in attitude and value. How what we value, how we think other people value us, how we value other people, our attitudes towards ourselves, our attitudes towards the world, our beliefs in ourselves, and our belief in the world that surrounds us. So as you can see, because there's so many parts that intersect together, building a mindset or having a growth mindset can comprise of a lot of different things. And often, based on how we're taught and socialized in our life, will, sh- will shape and change the way that we see ourselves and our capabilities. So I remember when I was younger, being an African American woman, I was told essentially who I could be, who I couldn't be, what job I should have when I get older, and what skills I would need in order to benefit, survive, or thrive in this world. And what I noticed when I was about 6 or 7 years old, I began to feel inadequate about who I was as a person. And why did I feel inadequate? Why was my self-esteem so low? What was being indoctrinated was that a woman had a place. She was to be submissive. She was to be quiet. Um, she didn't need to rattle any cages. And her job primarily was to take care of everyone else. Now, mind you, there's nothing wrong with caring for others and taking care of others. But what happened for me was there was a limitation being placed on who I could become, who I could be. So I learned to be a caregiver, a caretaker for most of my life. And then somewhere along the line, it hit me. Even though I don't mind caring for people, I didn't want to be in this group of people that had such limitations. Why was it that men got to go to work, experience different careers, be who they want to be, make decisions, be the head of the household, be the provider, X, Y, and Z? Now, mind you, I have nothing against men being the head of the household, being providers, being protectors, and taking care of their families. What I had a problem with was why was women being deprived of the same opportunities to do what? Provide for their family, take care of their family, and earn income. Now, let me be clear. Staying home, being a mother, taking care of your children is a form of provision. However, some people have, like myself, a different ideal, a different concept of what it would be like to provide monetarily for their family, to work, to be outside of the household, that their life wasn't relegated to bringing up kids and cleaning the household, that there was something other, not better, but something other than raising kids and cleaning your home. And then what happens when the kids get older and they're out the house? What happens if your significant other, the breadwinner, the man, leaves the home? Then what are you left with? Many women, like myself, have faced this dilemma. What happens if you have no skills, if you're not the breadwinner, your kids are out of the home? What do you do with your life? What gives your life meaning? What's your purpose? What is happening for you? And it dawned on me that I wanted to go to school. I wanted to get a college education. I wanted my own business. I wanted to be able to make decisions for myself. I wanted to make decisions for myself. If you see me glance the other way, it's because I'm live on Facebook, and like I said, I'm streaming live on StreamYard at the same time simultaneously. So I'm hoping everything is going well. It appears that I'm live on Facebook and I'm live on YouTube right now. But as I was saying, what I felt when I was younger and what I was coming up against was this limitation about who I could be, how I can express myself, what I could have. And that in some odd way, other people were making decisions about me. And to be honest with you, it didn't sit well with me. I was like, why can't I use my own brain? Why can't I be creative? Why can't I learn? Why can't I excel? And what I realized is that I had a lot of realizations. What I realized is that I didn't want to be limited. I didn't want to have those type of limitations. So, eventually I did go to college. I earned a bachelor's in professional studies. I earned a master's in public administration. And I'm not, and I've been in the field of human services for over 3 decades. But all of it has been in the capacity of serving other people. Something strange happened a couple of years ago, though. I was like, wait a minute, I'm serving all of these people. Whatever happened to my dream of having my own business? What was I coming up against? Now, I had the education and I had the experience, but what was I coming up against? I had to deal with my mindset. Did I feel capable of having my own business? Did I know how to operate my own business? See, even when I was in the workforce per se, things were done a certain way. So a lot of decisions were made on behalf of employers, on behalf of the organization. And many of us hit this wall or ceiling, if you might say, when we're working in an organization and we have creative ideas. However, because of the way that the organization is set up or the culture of the organization, sometimes we don't feel as though we're thriving in the way that we like to. And then we have to find a way to be inventive in order for that to happen. But what I was facing was, did I have a right to thrive? Did I have the right to thrive? Did I have the mindset to thrive? Did I have the abilities and the knowledge to thrive in my own business? And what I came up against was all of the old, antiquated, suppressed ideologies of who I was supposed to be, how I was supposed to move, and what I could have. It wasn't the business per se that was the hardest part, getting that off the ground. The internal piece of overcoming and working through a fixed mindset that said I can only do certain things, that I can only have X, Y, and Z. See, this stuff was so ingrained. Remember, as I started off by saying, this started at the age of 4 and 5 years old. I'm a woman, a person of a certain age. So we're talking about 40, maybe 40 plus years of information being ingrained in what my role and my purpose was to be on planet Earth. And when I had a different mindset, that meant that everything else that I thought prior to then, when I had the shift, when I had the transition, I had to emotionally and psychologically deal with that. And it felt like a part of me was leaving. I don't, I hope you guys get what I'm saying, right? Because there's certain words you could use on YouTube and Facebook. So I'm trying not to use certain words. But I hope you can get the gist of what I'm saying. That there was a conflict, an internal conflict that was happening for me because I had to change my belief systems. I had to change my way of thinking. I had to change my way of being in order to even start the business. So I was defying what was told to me. I was defying authority. I was defying social systems. I was defying traditions. And I have to tell you that because all of that was going on, I went through an emotional roller coaster. When I started thinking about the growth mindset, however, there's Dr. Carol Dweck. She wrote a book, mindset on successful mindset. I might be jumbling up the title a little bit, but you'll get my drift. But what she talks about is the growth mindset. And in it, right, she talks about the impact of beliefs, attitudes, our abilities, and our willingness to learn and to learn from our experience. See, when we have a fixed mindset, we're stuck in a rut. Let me say that again. When we have a fixed mindset, we're stuck in a rut. Like there's no way that anything can happen. For those of us that walk a different path, we might say something to the effect that you can't teach a new thing on a closed mind, that you got to have an open mind because you can't grasp a new idea on a closed mind. So I started reading, I started taking a look at who I was and who I wanted to be, how I wanted to serve other people, and what did I need to give up, and what did I need to change. I needed to change my self concept and my worldview concept. I needed to change both of them. As an individual, it is my responsibility. I'm hearing feedback on my mic, so I might have an echo, and I hope that's not the case on Facebook. But anyway, I had to give up. I had to give up the this fixed mindset that I had to deal with the world's limitation, what people call a ceiling, about who I can be, what I can have, and what I can do. I made a decision to go contrary to what I was told. I made a decision to go contrary to what I was taught. I made that decision to do it totally different. And it came as a direct result of having a growth mindset. The growth mindset helped me to look at the world from a different perspective, to look at my abilities from a different perspective, to look at who I was from a different perspective. And what changed for me was I no longer saw the limitations that was placed on me. Now I see the world of possibilities that I can achieve. Here's the funny thing. I can achieve if I'm willing to learn, if I'm willing to put in the work. I can achieve so much more if I just believe and I have the attitude and I polish up my abilities. I can either learn from or either obtain with some work the life that I really want to create for myself without the limitations of society. I'm watching what I say, so I'm taking a deep breath, right? Without society dictating, with people that don't look like me dictating, with people who are not my gender dictating what I can have, what I can do, what I can be, and what I can have. So the growth mindset was internal, it was emotional, and it was cognitive. I had to sort out emotionally and cognitively who I want to be. What am I striving to do? What is it that I want to have? And then show up as who I am. Many of us are on that same road. We want to change something that's really important in our lives. And there's an old saying, it's an inside job. And what that means is that there's going to be some deconstruction because you're going to have to tear some stuff down. You're going to have to relearn some stuff, unlearn some stuff, relearn some stuff. You're going to have to tap down. You're going to have to unpack some stuff in order to get to or be where you want to be or go where you want to go. This generation is a little bit more fortunate than the generation that I grew up in because they're learning more about what? Self-concept and world concept. They don't have the same, they have barriers, but unlike the barriers that we've had growing up, if you're in my age range, but they still suffer, believe it or not, without those barriers, with self-esteem images. Because we have to realize that image of who we should be, what's valuable, what's worthy, what's worthless, what other people say is worthy, what other people say is valuable. And when you're young, you're impressionable. And that stuff gets soaked into your spirit and into your mind and into your heart. And then we spend the other part of our lives trying to get that out of our spirit, out of our hearts, out of our minds. So I'm here today to tell you, if you've been down the path that I've been down and you're going where I'm going, it is an inside job. The growth mindset is about how we look at who we are, how we look at the world, how we look at our belief systems, our ability, our willingness to learn from our experience, try something new, and actually work. Work is not a dirty word. Work is fun. Work is not a dirty word. Work is fun because it's the place now. It is the place where you get to be creative. It is the place where you get to exercise your skills, your ability, and your knowledge. And again, this is about mindset. If I think work is drudgery, then it's going to be drudgery. But if I think work is fun, exciting, creative, and I get to show off my talents, my skills, my ability, and knowledge, then work is fun. And I get to learn. I get to learn something new and do something different. Guys, this has been a wonderful morning together on Facebook and YouTube and StreamYard. Like I said, I heard a little echo. Maybe my mic was a little too high, or maybe I'm picking up some residual sound in the area. But I'm hoping that this broadcast went well. And I want to say, please like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment. And thank you for listening to Monday Morning Magic. I'll see you next Monday.